Hi and welcome. Today our topic is about understanding internet technology. I believe that internet is not something new to many of us because it has been around for quite a number of years, and most of us have been using the internet in almost every aspect of our lives. And we can see how internet has been integrated into education, into businesses, into communication, government, and many others. So in this chapter, we're going to discuss the common terms and terminologies and technologies that are being used in the internet. Okay? So let's look at the different topics that we're going to discuss. Okay, so we're going to discuss, of course, the definition of the internet. What is a web browser? Search engines and how to evaluate a website. Then we'll discuss on what is a copyright, what is fair use, mobile applications, and how to secure your computer. So basically, these are our topics for this chapter, understanding internet technologies. So let's start off with the term internet. Okay, so let's go into the definition of the internet based from Wikipedia.com. So it says here that the internet is a massive network of networks, a networking infrastructure. It connects millions of computers together globally, forming a network in which any computer can communicate with any other computer as long as they are both connected to the internet. Okay, so if we look at the definition, it says massive. Massive means huge, big, large. Network of network. So it means that you have a network and then you have another bigger network. So to understand it, let's look at the visual representation of what is a network of network. Okay, so this picture here shows how the internet is represented as a network of networks. So as you can see here, this is a small network. And as you can see, if it's a network, it means that there is an interconnection among different devices in the network. And this is another network. And you have here another network. And then all of this other network, they form a bigger network, now what we call as the internet. So that is what we call as a network of networks. So through this one, it means that each component here of any network can communicate to this network, and then it can communicate to another network. So this is now what we call as the interconnection. Okay? Okay. So let's see now some statistics so that we can see really some clear picture how much the internet has been used. So first is we have here how many websites are there. So this is from statista.com. So as you can see, from 1991 to 2019, the number of websites starting from 1991 start off with one website only. So this is the www project. And as you can see, it is, of course, increasing. So as of now, we have 1.72 billion websites. That's quite a lot of websites. And for sure, it will increase in the years to come. Okay. Another that I want to show you is this chart, a minute on the internet in 2019. So this shows the estimated data on the internet in 1 minute. So it means that in 1 minute, what is happening in the internet? So for example, in 1 minute, 3 million requests or search are being done in the Google search engine. 222,000 scrolls in Instagram. 1 million people are logging in Facebook. So if you look at the picture, it means that this goes to show how people are integrated or embedded in using the internet. And again, we would see that this number would be increasing in the near future. Okay, now let's move on to Okay, now let's move on to another term that is commonly used in the internet, and it's one of the very important tools when we want to use the internet, and that is the web browser. So web browser is defined as a program that allows you to view web pages. So you can use this program or the software in your laptop, in your personal computer, or even in your mobile phones. So let's see here now what are the common examples of web browsers. There are a lot of web browsers that you can use. I'm showing you here the 5 common and commonly used web browsers. So of course, number 1 is Google Chrome. So this is a web browser developed by Google itself. And then we have Safari. Safari is a graphical web browser developed by Apple. Then we have Internet Explorer and the Edge, Microsoft Edge. This is developed by Microsoft. Then we have Firefox. This is developed by Mozilla Foundation. And the last one we have here, Opera, developed by Opera Software. Okay, so there's there again the common browsers that are being used by the people accessing the internet. And then I'm going to show you again another graph from w3c.com showing the web browser market share. So it means that this shows which browser is commonly used by people accessing the internet. So number 1 here you have the Chrome, followed by Safari, followed by Internet Explorer, Firefox, and Opera. Okay, so like for me now, I'm also using Internet Explorer, Google Chrome most of the time. Okay, now let's look into the features of a web browser. So when we say features, it means that the common parts of a web browser. So first is, I'm showing you here the Google Chrome browser. So most of the browsers now are designed like this. The menu bar is placed hidden, and if you want to access it, you can just click on the 3 dots on this side, and then when you click on that, the menu will drop. So this is what we call as your menu bar. The next one is the toolbar. So the toolbar is where you can most of the time see the backward and forward button and the refresh button. Okay. Another part of a web browser is the location bar. So this is your location bar. So it is where you're going to type the URL or the address of the website that you want to visit. Another is the scroll bar. Okay, so the scroll bar will come here. So if the website is very long already, scroll bar will automatically be activated on this side. And the last one is you have your status bar. So the status bar will show the status of your request. So for example, you are searching or you are trying to load a particular URL. For example, here it says waiting for google.com. So this is what you call as your status bar. Okay, so let's move on to another term in the internet, which is again one of the most important, search engine. So search engine is a program used to find web pages pertaining to a specific topic. Okay, so what are the common examples, popular examples of search engines? I'm showing you here 5 search engines. So again, there are still other search engines, but I'm showing you the top 5 commonly used search engines. So of course, number 1 of all is you have the Google. Okay, so again, it's so the next is you have here the Bing. Bing is a search engine operated by Microsoft. Then you have Yahoo. This is operated and owned by Verizon Media. And then you have here another one, Baidu.com. This is a Chinese search engine owned by the Chinese company. And then you have another one, Yandex.com. So it's a web search engine owned by the Russian corporation. So Let's see some search engine market share. So let's see which search engine has the most searches or is commonly used by people using the internet. So as you can see here, Google. So Google has the topmost, followed by Bing. Okay, and so on. Okay, let's move on to the next term. When you're going to search to a search engine, or for any search engine, the results when you are searching in a search engine is termed as hits. So for example, I searched this one in google.com, about 81,600,000 results, or hits. So another word for result is hits. Okay, so let's try to compare two search engines and let's see how many hits we will get. So let's try to search for the keyword internet. So in Google, so you can see I have this number of results and I was able to get it in 0.58 seconds. Let's do the same search in another search engine, this time in bing.com. Okay, let's go back. Bing.com, then I will say here internet. So I'm having here this results. So again, this is what we called as hits. So the more number of hits that you get from your keyword on a particular search engine, it means that that search engine gives you the most number of results. Okay, now so 4 tips to help make the most of a search. So when you are searching in a search engine, how do you get the best results? So number 1, make your keywords as precise as possible. So it means that, for example, you want to search for hotels in Salalah. So you have to write hotels in Salalah, not only hotels, because if you use hotels, all the website that has hotels will be part of your result. Number 2, use 2 or more keywords in your search. So like for same examples, if you say hotels in Salalah, so that's 2 or more keywords. So if you want to make it more, hotels with restaurants in Salalah. So with using that keyword means that you're getting better results. And of course, make sure you spell the keywords correctly and always try to more than one search engine. And now let's discuss on tips to get more precise hits, meaning better results when you are searching in your search engine. So as you can see here, you have here the use the and, use the or, and use the not. Okay, so let's show some example on how to. Okay, so let's say you want to search for a hotel and with a beach in Salalah. So I'm going to use here the keyword and. So it means that when I search, it will return all the website that has the keyword hotel and beach. So it means that all the results here has these keywords. As you can see, beach hotels. Okay, so as you can see, this is our result. If we are going to use the or, so again, the and means both. Keywords must be there, okay, for the website to be part of the result. If you're going to use the or, means either hotel or beach. So if the website has the word hotel or it has the keyword of beach, it will be part of our result. So as you can see here now, these are the results of all the websites that has the keyword of hotel or the keyword of beach in Salalah. So as you can see, our result increases. Okay. The last keyword, the last that we can use is the not, or we can use the minus symbol. The minus symbol means that hotels with no beach, not beach. So it means that no beach. So it will give us a result of all the hotels without beaches. Okay, so those are the 3 keywords that we can use. You have the and, the or, and the not. Our next topic is how to evaluate a website. So we're going to discuss here the factors that we can consider so that we can identify if the website is the content or the information that we read from the website is reliable or not. Okay, first is the authority and accuracy. So it is important that we have to check who is the author and the identity and the qualification or even the expertise of the author of the website. By doing so, we can determine if the content and information that we get from the website is indeed reliable and accurate. Okay, the second one is the purpose and contents. We have to take the time to explore and see and check if the content of the website or the information is actually subjective or objective. So when we say subjective, it means that the information is mostly biased or based from the opinion only of the author. However, when we say objective, it means that the content of the website is based from facts and not only from the opinion. Okay. Number 3 is the currency. The currency means how regular is the content of the content of the website is updated. Especially in news websites and in some other websites, we have to check that the content that we are accessing is actually the most recent one or the most updated one. The last one is the design, organization, and ease of use. So a website that is well designed and the content is very organized and is very user-friendly is a very good indicator of a very good website. So our next topic is about the copyright. So what is a copyright? A copyright is a legal device that provides the creator of a work of art or literature or a work that conveys information or ideas the right to control how the work is used. Okay, so if you look at some other definitions from Google on the copyright, so what does it mean to have a copyright? So copyright is a legal means of protecting an author's work. Okay, in simple terms, this means that whatever content the author created cannot be used or published by anyone else without the consent of the author. So in simple terms, copyright is a protection for the owners of intellectual properties. Okay, so what can be copyrighted? Okay, in general, tangible means that anything that can be seen or touched. Original expressions can be copyrighted. So what are these? So there are 3 fundamental requirements for something to be copyrighted according to the United States Copyright Office. So first requirement is the fixation. So for that item to be copyrighted, the item must be fixed in some way. Fixation occurs when something is written on paper. So for example, if you have written it on paper, like in a newspaper or in a book, posted online, or stored in a computer or a phone or an audio or video device. So it means fixation. So it is fixed in some way. The next consideration or requirement is originality. So for that work to be copyrighted, the work must be original, of course. Then the last one is minimal creativity. So the work must include something that is above and beyond the original. Okay, so let's look at some examples on what are the specific examples on what things that can be copyrighted. So it's very clear here: music, films and videos, jewelry designs, softwares, paintings, fashion design, pictorials, even websites such as your blogs or podcasts, and most of the time, books and manuals. Okay, then, so what are then things that cannot be copyrighted? So number 1, ideas that are in the public domain, facts that are in the public domain, words, names, slogans, or other short phrases also cannot be copyrighted. Blank forms, government works, which includes judicial opinions, public ordinances, administrative rulings, and all the others that are listed on this list. These are things that cannot be copyrighted. Okay, so what does copyright protect? So number 1, the copyright protects the author of the work the right to make copies of the work. The second is, it gives the right of the author to sell or otherwise distribute the copies of the work. So for example, I have a book So when I have a copyright for my book, I have the right to make copies of the book and of course sell it commercially to others. Number 3, the right to prepare new works based on the protected work. So this is actually what we call as a derivative work. So like for example, a book, from the book, a movie is created out from the book, or out from the music or the song, a movie is based from that song. Okay, so that's what you call as the derivative work. Number 4 is the right to perform the protected work, such as a stage play or painting in public. Okay, so the next term is fair use. So fair use is the most significant limitation onto the copyright holder's exclusive right. However, there are no set guidelines that are universally accepted related to fair use. So let us look into Google for a more clear explanation on what is fair use. Okay, so to understand more what is fair use, so what is considered as fair use? So in its most general sense, a fair use is any copying of copyrighted material done for a limited and transformative purpose, such as to comment upon, criticize, or a parody of copyrighted work. So if your use of any copyrighted material qualifies under these purposes, then it is considered as fair use. Then it would not be considered as an infringement. Okay, now let's look at this picture that shows the relationship between the copyright and fair use. So you have here the copyrights and the use of copyrighted works, and in between them, fair use. So if you have a copyright into a certain work, so it means that you have the right to copy, you have the right to distribute, and you have the right to make derivative works out from your original work. However, fair use means, for example, if there's a particular book and then you make a commentary out of the book, or you use the book for a limited and for educational purposes, then it is considered as a fair use and not a violation of the copyrights law. So that is about the copyright and the fair use. And now let's move on to our next topic, which is about mobile applications. So a mobile application is a software application developed to use on small wireless computing devices such as smartphones and tablets rather than desktops and laptop computers. So you can see here in this picture, these are examples of mobile applications. So a lot of companies now, or websites, would have their versions of their websites in a web-based format, and web-based application as well as a mobile application. So for example here, like Instagram has their own mobile application. At the same time, they also have a web-based application. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic, which is how to secure your computer. So if you are connected to the internet, your risk of your security risk increases because your device, like your computer or your mobile phone or your laptop, is connected to a bigger network. So what are common ways that you can secure your computer? So the protection of information from theft or damage to the hardware, software, and to the information on them, as well as from the disruption or misdirection of the services, are very important when using your computer. So the security of data in any form, like in business or education or even in personal, is a very high priority. So let us discuss on some of the ways that we can secure your computer. So if you're not using the internet, then you can probably disconnect your computer from the internet. And if you have a computer running for long periods of time, you don't need to be connected to the internet, then it is preferable to switch your internet router off. So if you're not using your computer and you don't want to be connected to the internet, it's better that you can switch off your internet router. Number 3, make sure your router has a decent firewall. Okay, like in Windows, if you go to this PC, your computer, and go to System Properties, by default, the Windows operating system has an enabled firewall and network protection. So you have to check this one to ensure that this is enabled, and this is one level of security for protecting your computer. Okay, so make sure your computer or device has a decent firewall. Of course, install decent antivirus software, and you have to make sure that you always update your antivirus software. Keep your computer up to date. So if you're using a Windows operating system, Windows has frequent updates to your computers. You have to make sure you download the latest versions. Keep your password safe and hard to guess. So this is very self-explanatory. So you have to make sure that your password is difficult to guess. Don't visit porn sites or any other websites. Don't trust public Wi-Fi. So if you want to connect to the internet and the Wi-Fi is public, so make sure you don't do important transactions when you're using the public Wi-Fi. Number 10, use a decent web browser and always update your web browser. And lastly, never leave your computer unattended. So this suggestions for securing your computer is not exhaustive, means that this is not all the things that you can do. There are other things that you can do to secure your computer, and you just have to be careful and find ways to really secure your computer. Thank you and goodbye.